මේ පැත්ත ඉවර පිල්වල අයි ඒ පැත්තෙන් ඒ පැත්තේ නෑ ඩෑනිස් කොයිලා ඉන්න That's not There's one big talent machine. Lamai, you all can stay in this side. Come, please. If at the Siluna passe, it's not sufficient. You can go. That side is the optional side, not this side. Come. Because if the students are not sufficient, we can manage with this side, right? It's comfortable. Right, good afternoon. We will anyway start the preparation till others join the class. Okay. If you go to the LMS page under this week, you will see number of documents. Okay, there are 3 Word documents uploaded, and there is a company file I have uploaded. Okay. So as I told you, the correct practice is you have to create your own company file and you have to maintain the same company file in every week. Okay. But today I thought of giving you a bonus by giving a prepared company file, correctly created company file that I have created last week, right? Not last week. Today I created another company file because I got some messages from a few students who could not come last week, right? So they don't have a company file in one case. And also those who have created the company file last week, if that contains any error, that contains any problem with the industry selection, business sector classification, then you will have the consequences every week. Right? Let's say you created a wrong company file, right? With the wrong account set, then everyday learning will be a problem to you. Because you are going the entire journey with the wrong company file. Therefore, I did the same thing that I taught last week. I did the same thing as you did, right? But it's correctly created, and I have uploaded the company file here. I want you all to download that company file and start working with that company file, right? So last week you learned how to create the company file, set the security preferences, backup, everything. But now forget about that company file. Don't forget the learning, but forget about that company file and download this particular company file and rename it with your student numbers. Okay. So from today, you will be able to continue with this company file. Okay. So not this week, next week, there will be one uploading requirement for the continuous assignment, right? Because this week we are starting the editing of account set, and next week we will be finishing, completing the account set, right? After completing the account set, we will have to. Here you have space. Okay. So till others come, I want you to download all these documents and keep in a folder on your desktop. Keep all these documents on a folder, right? Like this. Here, he creates, and this is the folder I created last week. So I'm deleting my previous company file. 111 is my folder. And now I'm filling this folder with these documents, right?
Hello, sir. Hello. Hello.
Right? So your folder on the desktop should contain these three documents, these three Word documents, plus the company file I have uploaded. Okay. AB Cricket Private Limited, LTF, if there's a spelling mistake, LTF, that is the correct company file. Right? It should be LTD, but make sure that is the file. Okay. Later you can change it. Sub Cricket Private Limited hyphen 000. So instead of that 000, you all can insert your student number, last 3 digits of your student number, to identify that it is your correct company file.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
We can't see the screen, sir, please.
You all can't see.
Yes, sir.
Maybe it's not shared with me. Very. Now is it fine?
Yes, sir. Now can see, sir. Thank you, sir.
You can see, no? Right. So what I did was, sorry, I forgot you all, right? What I did was under week 3, there are 3 Word documents here, and also there's a company file. I think you all heard what I said. So you all can download this company file and continue with that company file in the future, right? From today's learning, you can continue with this company file. And these 3 documents are related to the learning we are going to start today. So I want you all to download all these 4 documents and keep them or store them in a folder on your desktop. So we can easily find where those are, right? That's what we did.
Clear, sir.
Come on, y'all can come here. Then you have space. No. Ignore but man. Tax තියෙනවා ළමයි නේද? Okay. You can't hear. That's the mic. Hello. Hello. අපි last week කරපු PC computer එකකින් ඕනේ කියලා එකක් නැහැ. ඕන එකකින් ඉන්න පුළුවන්. මේ you have to just download this company file. That's it. I hope you understood my teaching last week. Because you can even open this company file from your own PC. It doesn't matter, right? Unless you have the company file and when you have the software in any computer, right? You have to make sure you're opening the right company file, MYO file. Wherever you go, wherever in the world, in any computer, if you have this company file, you can open it with that software. That's it. That's okay. This is the data source. Right? So we'll continue, right? It's 30 minutes gone. Now I'll speak a little louder so you all can hear until the mic is activated. So you'll hear better, right? Now, as I told you, we are going to start working with the company file that we have created. Okay? We are assuming that this is our company file. Then what is the starting point you have to touch? You open the software, right? You open the MyOB software and then go with the open button, right? Go with the open option. Click on that button and then from the desktop, go to your own folder, correct folder, and pick that company file, right? Those who came late, those who came late, I have given the company file for you to work with, right? So forget about your last week's created company file. Now you can start working with this company file and make it your own company file. Okay. So it's complete, right? So select this company file. As I told you, you can rename it as your student number. Here I have put it as 000, but you can rename it with your student number and then select that and open. So administrator, no password we have given. Therefore, click OK. Select the third option, right? Because you are using it as the student version. So select the third option. There you should see there are 90 days remaining. The meaning is I created this company file today, right? I created this company file today morning. Therefore, 90 days remaining. If you are having like 83 days, that means you are opening your last company file. That is wrong, right? Don't do it. Don't use it. I want you all to use this company file. Okay, use this company file. And click continue. Okay, all right. This is your company. Okay. Now, here I have in my company file, in this company file, there is a small spelling mistake in the company file name. So I want you to go to setup, right? Company information, setup tab, company information. Okay. And then here you can make any changes. So instead of limited, I have LTF. So delete the letter F and make it D. LTD, that is how you write limited. Okay. Only one letter mistake you have corrected. So this way you can make any changes to your company information that we discussed last week. All right. Make that correction and click OK. All right. Now, මේක අර පැත්තේ ස්පීකර්ස් වලින් ඇහුනේ තාම. Can you hear me? Hello. Hello. Can you hear me? Thank you. Right. Hope you all can hear me, right? Both the both these two groups and the online group. All of you can hear me, right? Okay. So now we have opened our company file, right? As I told you, we are going to first have a solid account set for our business. Without that solid account set, we can't properly make our transactions or record our transactions. And also, when you were reading this company, right, in the case we discussed last week, we have one particular information. We had one particular information, that is, this company is registered for value-added tax, right? So for any purchases and sales of this company, value-added tax, so VAT is applicable, right? Now, today we are going to start working with the tax, how we are going to create or include or implement tax codes in my UOB in this company. And also thereafter we are going to see how we can modify our accounts list according to our preference. Okay, right. So if you are writing any notes down, the learning or the topic we are going to discuss is tax codes. Tax codes, please. I'm not going to dictate any notes, but I want you to at least have some steps written on your papers. Okay, based on your understanding, you can write your own notes. Don't write lengthy notes like paragraphs and all. Just write the steps, so you can practice at home and you can understand. Okay. All right. Then under tax codes, right? Go to your path is list tab, right? Out of these tabs, there is a tab called list, right? In the tabs, you can find a tab called lists. In this list, you will find number of lists, right? Account list, card list, activity list, item, job, category, so many lists. Basically, these lists are the databases. In MyOB, these lists are the different databases that are working together when we are creating transactions. So today we are going to touch the tax codes database, right? And we are going to make sure that is according to our preference. Okay, right. So under list, go to tax codes. That is the path. List tax codes. Right. So here you can see number of tax codes created for this company. Okay. In this table or in this database, you have the code of the tax and the description or the name of the tax, and then the type of the tax and specific percentage, specific rate at which this tax is charged. Right now, to modify this, I want you to open the Word document I have uploaded here called tax codes. Right. Right. Now, as I told you, in the software, we are always going to start with the easy work, right? It is always easier to delete something than creating something, right? So we will first brush up the tax code by deleting unnecessary tax codes. So we will be left with the important tax codes, and then we will see how to modify them. Okay, right. Here there is a list of taxes that we have to delete. Delete the following tax code because the given tax code list or the database is a standard database, standard tax codes database that is common for any business, right? But out of which we need only a few. Therefore, we are going to delete some unnecessary tax codes. You can see this list. Okay, right. Now, let me go to the company again. Let's say the first tax code we are supposed to delete is IMP is the tax code. The name is import duty. All right, import duty. So I am looking for that IMP or import duty. Here in the list I found it. In every tax code, in front of that tax code, there is a small arrow. You can see. In MyOB, this is known as white zoom arrow. White. To the part again, white zoom arrow. The meaning is the color is white, and what it does is it zooms this function. It gives you a zoomed view of this particular function. For example, it opens up all the details, right? So click on that white zoom arrow, right? And see what is this tax code basically, right? The code is IMP, this description is import duty, and rate is 5%. And you can see this tax code is linked to certain accounts. Okay. After looking at this information, simple thing you have to do to delete this is, right, knowing that you are going to delete this, right click on this information and click on the delete tax code button. Right here you have an option called delete tax code. Click on that. Okay, all right, that tax code is deleted now. Then click OK. Now you can see the import duty tax code is deleted. Now let me look at the second tax code, GW, consolidated WEG and WET. So let me look at the GW here, right? So I click on white zoom arrow and I right click on the surface. This is a different tax code because it's a consolidated tax code, right? It combines two tax codes, right? Still the same operation, right click and click on the delete tax code, right? Right click and delete on the tax code. Very simple. And then LCG, here LCG, go into that and look at the information, right click and delete tax code. And those who are lazy to open this tax code and right click and delete, you have an easy option, right? Just on top of the tax code, right? Let's say next tax code is LCT. Okay, LCT. So you can look at the LCT tax code on the same place, you can click on the right, or you can right click, right? Then you will get the same option to delete the tax code. This I call the Kammali method. You can easily delete the tax code. But the problem is, right, when you are deleting, the problem is you will, in a real company, you will not understand what is the nature of the tax code you are deleting. You don't know what are the links that tax code had to other accounts, right? And also, when you keep on deleting some accounts, the database takes a little time to be updated. Sometimes you will delete required tax codes as well, right? If you delete a required tax code, it's not a problem. You can create it again. But why? What is the reason? Why should we delete a required tax code and create it again? Right? To avoid that mistake, avoid that problem, only we are opening it, taking the information, and then deleting the tax code if you want to delete it. Okay. Right. So WEG. Deleted it. We'll quickly do it. Now you know how to delete. It's very simple, 2 clicks. WET. WST. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There are 7 tax codes you had to delete. Right. I want you all to delete all these 7 tax codes mentioned here. Okay. Did you delete all 7 tax codes? Right. Now hands up. Those who have deleted some tax codes that are not mentioned in this list. එහෙම නැත්තම් මේක සැබ් එකේ ක්ලාස් එකක් නෙවෙයි. Anywhere in the world, when I teach this, there are at least 2, 3, 5 depends students who have deleted some tax codes that are not in the given list. It's a problem, or actually it's a problem, but it's the starting point of the learning. How to recreate a deleted tax code, right? How to recreate a deleted tax code or whatever the new tax code, completely new tax code, right? I'll just show you the path of creating a new tax code. Okay. In the tax codes list, at the bottom, you can see there is a button called new, right? Okay. Click on that button. click on that button and you will see an interface to enter the information to create a new tax code, right? So I'm just showing it. Can someone tell me those who have deleted a required tax code? You deleted. What is the tax code you deleted? Mistakenly deleted. AB. Let me see. AB. ABN. Okay. All right. Okay. So these are the information. Okay. These are the information. Now someone else in the class, can you open this ABN? Can someone open this ABN? Okay. Can you open this? Right. Now you all don't delete this because I need this information to create the new. I'll show you how to create the new. Those who have not deleted, you don't have to create it, but you see how it is done. Okay. Those who have deleted, you can create this according to your preference, right? Okay. Now ABN. So I'm going to get into the same board of her. I'm going to delete this. I deleted mistaken. That. Go on. Okay. Then I go to this button, new. My code is ABN, right? I enter the tax code. Without the tax code, you can't enter any information. When you enter the tax code ABN and press the tab key, you can see all other fields are becoming activated. That is the nature of MyOB. In MyOB, in many forms, when you enter the first required information, that is the unique code actually. When you enter that unique code, only all other fields are activated, right? And then what is the description? Those who have opened. No ABN. No ABN withholding. Right? Withholding. So tax type is no ABN with withhold no ABN TFN, no? And rate is 46. 46.5 is the rate. Okay. 46.5 is the rate. And then are these two accounts correct? What is the account for withholding credits? ABN withholding credits. 1-1970. Okay. Then for payable 2-1380. So these two are correct. Okay. These two are automatically set. And link card for tax authority is there anything? No. So I have created a new tax code and you can click OK. So you can see you have the deleted tax code created again. All right. So creating a tax code is nothing difficult. It is just a click of the this new button and then entering the correct information. Right? Anyone who has deleted a necessary tax code, you all can look into the information of your friend's computer, friend's tax code, and you can create your tax code again based on that information. Not working. All right. Then after this table, there is a bullet point, right? There is a bullet point that gives information. There should be a tax code. Okay, are you listening? There is a tax code. There should be a tax code for value added tax or VAT that is linked to VAT collected and VAT paid accounts at the prevailing rate for VAT in the country. Okay, so you have to create a VAT tax code. When you are creating a new tax code, okay, when you are creating a new tax code, always check whether there is a similar tax code given in the software that you can modify and use. Right? The most intelligent thing to do here is take an existing tax code and modify it according to your preference, because that already has the required links everywhere. Okay. you can do this way also. You can delete the existing tax code. You can create a brand new value-added tax code, right? But that is in one side, it's waste of time. And on the other side, you can make mistakes by the links. Therefore, most intelligent thing is you check whether there is a suitable or similar account or tax code, which is in the Australian context. So we will convert it according to our context. That's it. Okay. Now, let me go and see whether there is a similar tax code. You all know value-added tax in Sri Lanka is the tax charged for goods and services. Right? Previously, it was GST, goods and services tax, right? So here you can see there is a tax code called GST, and the description is goods and services tax, and also the tax type is goods and services tax, and charged at 10%. Okay. So let's say this is a company in our country. So in our country, we no longer have the GST. Okay. Therefore, no point of keeping this GST tax code as that. So we will convert this GST tax code into value-added tax. Okay. How to convert that? Using the white zoom arrow the same way. Using the white zoom arrow, go into that tax code and then change the little information to convert it into VAT, right? In GST, if you delete the first two letters and you can't hear, you all can't hear, you all can't hear. You can't? No, you can't. Hello, hello. Now you can. Okay. All right. Now, when you are converting GST into VAT, value-added tax, only first two letters you have to change, right? Don't even delete and re-enter it. Delete only the first two letters. That's it. Okay. GST, VAT. When you press tab, always use the tab key in your keyboard to move from one field to another field in the software, right? So why am I saying so? When you move from one field to another field, the data you will have entered in the previous field is automatically saved, right? Therefore, without missing any field, you can go into every field by using the tab key. Otherwise, if you just use the cursor and go and click into different fields, sometimes you will miss necessary fields. So here, when you press the tab key, you will get a notice. The new tax code will replace the old code for all existing items, invoices, etc. Okay, so this is going to replace. Okay, you can click on OK. And then the description, what is the description? Value added tax. It's not the goods and services tax. The name of the tax is value added tax. Value added tax, right? But the tax type is, right? In the tax type, you can see what are the types available. Is it consolidated, imported, sales tax, whatever it is. It's actually the goods and services tax available in Sri Lanka. Okay. Therefore, we will keep it as the goods and services tax. And rate, right? The information given here is you have to use the prevailing VAT rate of Sri Lanka. What is the prevailing VAT rate? 18, right? 18%. When you enter 18, you don't have to enter the percentage mark. You have to just enter 18 and press tab key. You will get another notice. What is the notice? Changing this tax rate will not affect any sales, purchases, banking, or journal transactions already created. Right? Is it good or bad? Is it right or wrong? Right. Let's say the government announces the VAT rate from next month is going to be 20%. I don't know, right? For example. Then whatever sales you are doing today will not be taxed at 20%. It will be 18%. Only from the next month it will be 20%. Right? Therefore, now we are changing the rate. So from now, this point onwards only, it will be the new rate. For the previous purchases, sales, whatever happened, that is charged at the previous rate. That is the accurate method. Okay. So MyOB knows that. And then you can see here, these accounts or this tax code is linked to two accounts. One is the collected account. When you collect tax, it becomes your liability because you have to settle that to the tax authority. And the tax paid account, right? When you pay taxes, that becomes your asset. When you pay, because you have the option to charge them, recover them from the sale, right? Therefore, the collected account and paid account are linked. But the problem is the name is GST collected and GST paid. Okay. So here we can't do anything for that, right? We can't change those names from here because here we are not allowed to change the accounts. Here we are allowed only to change the tax codes. Okay. So we will leave this for now. Okay. We will leave this for now. And then we will directly go to the accounts editing. Okay. The accounts editing. And then I will show you how this can be done. Okay. You stay in this format. Don't click OK or anything. Right. Stay in this format and click on the list tab. Right. Click on the list tab. Okay. You stay in the same format. Don't do anything to that format. Go to list and go to accounts. Right. Go to account. Right. In the accounts, we will learn this one by one. But just because I am saying, I want you to go to the liability tab. There are a number of tabs, right? Asset, liability, equity, income, so many tabs. Under that, I want you to go to the liability tab. Under liability, you will see there are three accounts: GST liabilities. Under that, GST collected and GST paid. Okay. So in front of all these three accounts, there is a white zoom arrow. So it seems one is a heading, right? The other two are sub accounts, right? This a bold colored account or name is the heading. The other two are the sub accounts coming under that, right? So we'll change all these three. How to change or how to edit anything? Using the white zoom arrow. Right? Using the white zoom arrow, you can go into that. Click on the white zoom arrow and only change the name, right? Only change the name. Even in the name, only two letters, right? ES is replaced by VA. That's it. Only two letters you have to change. Click OK. Right, you can see it is changed as VAT. Then take the other account, GST collected. In front of them, there's a white zoom arrow. Go into that account and VAT collected. Okay. And take the third account, GST paid. Using the white zoom arrow, go into that. VAT paid. Okay. Click OK. Right. Now here you can see under the liability, you have VAT liabilities. Then there are two accounts for that: VAT collected and VAT paid. Okay. All right. Did you change that? Then just close it. Just close this accounts list. Right. Just close this accounts list. Now see, right. Now do you see under the tax code editing window, the account names are changed. Right? Okay. It has been changed as the VAT collected and VAT paid. Is it fine? Then just a matter of clicking on this OK button. Right. So you have created the value added tax or VAT tax code. Right. Then what did we learn or what did we notice there? When we are changing one database, right, wherever it is linked to, is automatically getting copied. Right? Because all these are separate databases. So you are just connecting not the words, but the links. Just like you are you are creating links in Excel. Even that works, right? When you are just linking the fields. So when you are changing in one database, automatically that is reflecting in the other database. So it's just a matter of a connection between number of databases, right? So tax code editing is nothing difficult. You just remove unnecessary tax codes, just right click delete, easiest one, right? You can even remove necessary tax codes, then you can recreate them. You can create new tax codes, completely new tax codes by using this new button. When there are similar tax codes, you can use the white zoom arrow and modify those tax codes. Those are the three learnings under tax code. Create, delete, create, and modify. Okay? Is it difficult? Not at all. Okay, then you can close this window. You can close that window. Right? Then we have a company file with the correct tax codes list. Now we are going to modify our accounts. Okay? Without accounts, we can't do anything. Therefore, I want you to go to this or go and click on this button called accounts, right? And can someone tell me how do we call these buttons? There's a specific name. Join this batch. Join this batch. Yes. There are two timetables for this batch. One is starting at 3 and the other is starting at 4. Did I figure it? Yes. So why you are late? Yeah, 100 bag here and අනිත් පැයට ගන්න බෑ. ඒ කියන්නේ දඩේ මේ ගිහිල්ලා කෑම හොයාගෙන කෑවා. Okay. Now in this rainy situation, you can be late like 5 minutes, 10 minutes because you have to wait till someone brings an umbrella. Okay, that is understandable. 1 hour is too much. Right? 1 hour is too much because you have already missed one lesson. Okay. Don't, so we'll make it the first and the last time that you ignore the starting cycle. All right. We will be flexible in problems. If you have a problem, we will be flexible. If you have a genuine excuse, we will be flexible. But complete indiscipline will not be tolerated. Sorry for that. All right. Wherever I teach, I don't tolerate indiscipline. We are very friendly, sensitive to any genuine matter of any student. Like last week also some students have informed me about their absence and all. Just give them excuse, no problem. But like this type of delays will not be accepted again. Huh? Okay. Right. Then accounts command, sorry. How do we call these buttons? Command center button. Sorry, I had to say that word. Command center buttons. When you click on these command center buttons, you are opening that command center. Right? That understanding is required, as I told you, in your assignments. Those knowledge or quiz, specifically in the quiz, that type of little tricky point or technical points will be tested. Right? So we have to start with this accounts command center. Okay. In my opinion, when you are starting to work with a particular command center, we have an option to set up the background. Right? Just like when you are going to build the house, you are just cleaning the environment, you are making the ground clear and everything, like you are setting the background that is suitable to build the house. Like that, you have, when you are starting to work with a particular command center, you have to make sure the environment is accordingly set. Right? for that, we are using an option called setup and easy setup assistant, right? Setting up the defaults, basically. We are using the easy setup assistant to set up the defaults, default values or defaults in any particular command center, right? So I want you to go to setup and easy setup assistant. Under that, you can see number of easy setup assistant tabs are there, right? Customize accounts, sales, purchases, payroll. Those are the main functions of your business. For each of these functions, there are separate easy setup assistant paths. Okay? Just like it is named as easy setup assistant, it is really easy. It is really easy. You just have to pick certain information. Then you are basically setting up that process. Okay, you are setting up that process. Right. So what is the process we are going to set up now? The accounts. Okay, the accounts. Select that accounts, easy setup assistant. Right. So take 2 minutes and read the introduction. Read the introduction. Those who came late, I have uploaded a company file in the LMS. You all can download that company file and start working with that company file. You forget about the company file you had created last week. This is accurate and you can start with this. And also download the other 3 documents I have uploaded and keep those documents in the folder. So in that folder we are working. Right? Because end of the day, end of the session, you will have the correct company file in that folder. You can pick that and upload to yourself. Right. Take 2 minutes and read this. All right. You read and understood what we are going to do? We are going to set up the process now. Okay. Click on the next button. Right. Now this is your account list. Right. This is your account list. And this account list is created based on the information you had given to MyOB. The information you had given to MyOB is your business type is retail. Your business classification, industry classification is retail, and your specific business type is sporting goods dealer. Right? Based on that information, this account list is created. Okay. Now, what we can do with these accounts? What we can do with this account list is clearly given in the 4 buttons at the bottom. You can see here: new, edit, delete, and import. Right? New, edit, delete, and import. As I told you, for the account, that's what we can do. Right? We can either delete an account, we can either create a new account, or we can modify or edit any existing account. And also, you are given an option called import. Right? Import. That means if you have an existing account list that is being exported by another company, if you are going to use the same account list, you can import that as a TXT or text file. Right? But here we are not going to use that option. But in real companies, when they are going to launch another branch of the same company, let's say some companies are having the same business but in a new branch. Right? The same account list will be maintained, but from 0. Then you can just export that account list and import it into the new cluster. right? So that option is also there, but here we are not going to use it because we don't have a list, right? Now here, there are certain things we have to understand in this accounting system, right? You can see when you start with the accounts we have, first account is 1-0000, okay, and the name is assets. And then that asset account is in one particular level closer to the left hand corner, right? So these bold colored accounts, you can see some accounts are bold and other part of it bold. These accounts are known as header accounts. Right? Want to note down? You can note down. Sometimes in the quiz there may be questions like what header accounts can do. For which purpose are we creating header accounts? The accounts that we are creating for this particular blah blah blah. How do we call it? Right? Possible questions. Now, usually header accounts are there to classify the accounts. To classify the accounts and also to calculate the subtotals of a class of entries. Right? The purpose of a header account is actually it's a heading. Then we are using it to classify accounts, right? And also to calculate subtotals for a class of accounts. If you take this first account, 1-000, it's the highest level of an account, and that is used to classify under your all accounts. You are classifying only asset accounts, right? You are classifying only asset accounts. So in that account, you are not recording anything, right? In that account, you are not recording anything, but that account is there to classify. If your manager asks you to take the total of assets, total value of assets, you get the balance of this account, but you have not recorded any transaction in this. You have recorded transactions for motor vehicles, maybe land, buildings, all that, right? But this is the parent account, right? And then you can see an account is having a code and a name. Account is having a code and a name. And this code is unique. Two accounts do not have the same code. Every account is having a unique code, right? Depending on that code, that account is possible. Right? Now, if you look at the second account, current assets. Under assets, now we are talking about one subsection of that account. It's current assets. Still, that is a header account. Because under current assets, you can have many. Okay. And here, if you look at the number 1-100, so it is a subcategory of the parent. You understand? It's a subcategory of assets. That is why it's starting with 1. But it is again 1000. Okay. That is again a parent account, and that is in a different level. If you look at the level of these accounts, the first asset account was in the first level, and then it's the second level. Current asset account is in the second level. And if you look at the cash on hand, right? Cash on hand, again it's a header account. Why? Cash on hand is having so many accounts. So check account, your real cash account, petty cash account, all these are coming under cash on hand, right? If you look at the code of that account code, 1-1, 1 means it's coming under current assets, and another 1, right? It's occupying the second digit as well to classify 1, right? And then that is in the third level, that is in another level. And then you can see the last level or the fourth level of accounts. These are, that is not bold, right? Check account. If you look at the check account, that is not bold. These type of accounts are known as detailed accounts. Detailed accounts. Previous ones all were header accounts, and these accounts are detailed accounts. The nature of a detailed account is you are recording transactions in those detailed accounts, right? You are using these accounts to record transactions. In these accounts, you are recording transactions. Clear? For check account, you are debiting directly to the check account. If you receive a check, if someone deposits money in your bank account, you are debiting that account, right? Therefore, you are reporting transactions, or you are recording transactions in detailed accounts. Clear? So that is in the fourth level. And also, by looking at its code, you can say it starts with 1, then you know it's an asset account. And again, the other 4 characters are starting with 1000, then you know it's a current asset. 1100, then you know it's coming under cash and cash on hand. And then its unique code is 1110. 10 is its unique code, right? You can use up to all 4 digits to make the account unique, right? And the learning is there are header accounts and detailed accounts, and there are 4 levels of accounts, right? And also, if you carefully look at this, all these accounts are arranged in the ascending order. Ascending order can Arohana, from the lowest number to the highest number. Right? That's why the account list is starting with 1, not starting with 8 or 9. Right? 1, 1000. 1100 is greater than 1000. So it's in the ascending order. Right? If you want to change the location of an account, then account if you want to change up or down, move here and there, you can't drag, click and drag, like you are doing in Word, Excel, right? You can't click and drag these accounts here and there. You have to change the code. When you change the code, automatically that account will go to its required place because it's anyway arranged in the ascending order. Now, for example, let's say I want to move this petty cash, right? Move this petty cash before the cash drawer. Cash drawer, right? Before the cash drawer, I want to have the petty cash. Then what can I do? I look at the petty cash accounts code 1140. Cash drawer is 1130. So any number before 1130 will come before that account. Then if I rename or record this petty cash account as 1125, it will quickly jump in between the payroll check account and cash flow. 1020, right? 1120, then 1125, and then 1130. Right? Simple learning is if you want to change the location of an account, position of an account, you can use the account code to make that change. Understood? Right? I'm teaching you all the possibilities for you to amend or edit these accounts. Okay? Because this knowledge is required because we are going to completely change this account list. This is a given account list by my UOP, but we are going to make it our own account list by changing the locations here and there. We are going to convert the current assets as current non-current assets. There are different things we are going to do. Understood? Right. I hope you learned those information. Right. And then, right. So, deleting an account, I don't want to show how to delete an account here. It's very simple. Okay. As you know, you can, let's say, I'll just show you. If you go to the trade, I'm looking at the trade debtors account. Okay. If you go into that account, you will see this information. All right. And if you want to delete this account, it's very simple. Right click, delete button. Don't do it. Don't delete. I'm just showing you. You can right click and delete. As I told you, deleting an account is the easiest thing. Okay. Anything, deleting is the easiest thing, right? Right click and delete. But in the account list, we can't just delete stuff. We have to make sure that account is whether it's required or not. Okay. By carefully looking at that, we will see whether it's deleted or not, right? And in the same case, right, look at the information available in an account. Okay. In an account, right, first you have the classification of header or details. Any account you can categorize as either a header account or a detail account. right? Depending on your requirement. If you convert it into a header account, you can't record any transactions into it, right? It is just classifying, just creating a different class. And if you change it as detailed account, you can record transactions in it. So the first thing you are selecting of an account is whether it's a header account or a detailed account, right? Here you can see this is a detailed account. Therefore, the meaning is you can record transactions in it. Right? And then you have account type, this information, right? Account type. When you click on this drop down arrow, you can see whether this account is a bank account, account receivable, other current asset, fixed asset, or other asset. Different types of assets are there because the major account classification is already selected as assets, right? Selected as assets. When you are creating a new account, you can even select that classification. Whether it's an asset account, liability account, or whatever that you can select, right? And then you have the account number, right? Account code, we call it. This number is the unique number that you are having. And depending on this number, it decides where it will be located, where that account will be located. And then the account name. When you are writing the account name, you have to be careful to write it with correct spellings. The reason is when you are using that account in your different transactions, you will be searching it with the correct spellings, right? If there's spellings mistake, when you search it, it won't come. Therefore, correctly, you have to enter the spellings. And then if there is any opening balance, because there are certain businesses, they start by OB after doing some transactions. Then if there are any opening balances of those accounts, you can even enter it here, right? But here in our company, we don't have any opening balances. So that is how you can enter or modify information in an account. At the same time, that is how you can right click and quickly delete if you want, right? So deleting and modifying are not so difficult, right? Then again, creating a new account, right? Creating a new account is also not so difficult. It's just a matter of clicking on this new button. Okay, you can see here. Click on this new button, and then you can see again the same story, right? Same information. You have to decide whether it's header or detail, and then you have to select the account type, and then you have to enter a new account number and the name. When you can see here, unless you enter an account number, rest of the information will not be, or field will not be available, right? When you enter the account code only, the rest of the information will be available, right? Okay. So those are the stuff you have to see. Now, when you look at this, right, you have assets, and under assets, you have current assets first. And then here you have fixed assets. Okay. And then you have liabilities. Under these liabilities, you can see some accounts we have already edited, modified. Here, these three accounts we have already modified. But VAT liabilities, right? So VAT liability account we edited was a header account. This black color, the bold color one, it was a header account. And under that, you had VAT collected and VAT paid. Okay. And those are detailed accounts, right? Okay. If you are okay with this information, because those are the information you are supposed to know about the account list, then we will now in this place we can edit all these accounts if you want, right? A complete modification we can do at this point, but here I'm not going to do that complete modification. I just wanted to show that it is possible here, but I will teach you a convenient way and more accurate way. I mean, a way that you won't make mistakes. Right? This is the ideal way, right? When you are setting up the process, it's better to do all the modifications here. But there is a better way, I mean, a convenient way and an accurate way to modify these accounts. Whenever necessary, you can quickly go and modify the accounts in that way, right? So we will see how that modification can be done. So for the moment, we will go to the next step, right? Right here, if your accounts are having an opening balance, you can enter the opening balance. Right? This is useful if your business is an already continuing business. Right? You see, you are an already continuing business with manual accounting or something. So you have balances, but you are going to enter those balances into my OB. Right? But here we don't have any opening balances. Therefore, we are moving to the next step. Right? Congratulations, you have set up the easy setup assistant process. Right? We didn't do much. We just checked what are the possible things we can do. But you would have edited the entire account list there also. Right? Okay. Then close it. Close that account list and close this easy setup assistant window. Right. All right. Then, as I promised you, I'll just show you how that accounts thing can be done, right? Accounts editing thing can be done. And then we will take a small break and so it will take only 5 to 10 minutes. As I told you, as I promised you, rather than editing your account list under the easy setup assistant, you can go to the accounts command center and the account list option, right? Under the accounts command center, you have an option called accounts list. Right? Click on that. When you click on that, right, you will see different tabs, right? Number of tabs, and under those tabs, the accounts are classified. Right? What are the tabs available? All accounts, right? All accounts, assets, liabilities, equities, income, cost of sales, expense, other income, and other expenses. Right? Not in my OB, in general accounting, what are the types of accounts we have? Assets, liabilities, equity, income, and expenses. Those are the 5 classes of accounts we have. Right? Same 5 classes of accounts are here, but there are some sub classifications. Right? For example, for assets, it's 1. For liability, it's 1. For equity, it's 1 tab. And for income, it is 1 tab, but there is another additional tab called other income. Right? You have a tab for income and also an additional tab for other income. You carefully notice here, other income. So you have a tab for expenses, right? And also you have an additional tab for other expenses. All right. And also you have a specific tab called cost of sales, right? Cost of sales. Because why these classifications are there? Because these are the classifications you separately show in your final accounts, in your income statement. In your income statement, you are separately showing the main income and the other incomes. Other incomes are coming under a separate class category, right? Apart from expenses, if you take expenses, cost of sales is coming in a different rate account, different place, right? And the other expenses are, or general expenses are coming in another category, and other expenses are coming in another category, the income statement, right? To make sure that classification is properly set, these different tabs are given. Okay. And then another thing you have to notice, under all accounts, you will see the entire list, the same list you saw on the easy setup assistant, right? But if you look at assets, right, you can see only the accounts starting with number 1. Only the accounts starting with number 1 are appearing. These are asset accounts. So you should know if any account number is starting with 1, that is an asset account, right? Then if you look at liability, all the accounts are starting with 2. Right? Wherever you see any account starting with number 2, you should know it's a liability, right? So like that, the numbering is given, right? Equity, number 3. All the income accounts are starting with number 4. Cost of sales, 5. Expenses, 6. Other income, 8. I don't know why they have missed the number 7. Maybe because it's lucky 7. They have missed it. And 8 and the other expenses, right? Other expenses. So that way they have classified all these accounts, right? So as I promised you, any modification to the accounts, right, can be done here. If you want to change, let's say, change any account, you can use this white zoom arrow and do any editing. If you want to create a new account, here there is a button called new, right? When you click that button, you can create a new account. Okay. And also another thing we can see here is if you want to change the location or change the level of any account, you can do it with these arrows up and down. Do you see there are two arrows up and down? Two buttons at the bottom, up and down, right? So let's say under liability, there are some credit card options, right? Credit cards, bank card, dinner club, MasterCard, likewise. Then here, let's say if you want to bring these accounts up, one level in advance, you select that account and click on this button called up, right? Click on that up. Then you can see it is bringing the entire class of those accounts along with that. Now it came to the third level. It was in the fourth level. It came to the third level, but along with the entire class. Right? But when you want to put that down, it's going one by one. It doesn't come with the entire class, right? So you select that and click on down button. You see it's going one by one. Right? One by one, you have to bring it down. Till Visa, you have to bring them down, right? Because these levels, when you change the level, it does not impact your accounting process. It is a matter with the appearance, right? It is a matter with the appearance and the matter with the classification. It does not affect your accounting process, right? Because the accounts are anyway linked to the right places, so it doesn't impact your accounts, right? Okay. Now, having that understanding, let me do a quick work. It will take like 3 minutes, right? It will take 3 minutes before the break. There is a document I have given, accounts to delete. As I told you, we are going to start with the easy work, right? I have given a list of accounts to delete, right? Right? We'll delete one account and we'll take the break. Then after the break, you have to delete the rest. Look at this account 1-1150 provisions account. By looking at the code, can you tell me which type of an account this is? It's an asset account because it started with 1. Okay. And also, once you become an expert on this software, you will say asset account, and also it's a current asset account 1000, right? Like that, you will be able to read the code after, just like you are reading your course code. The second year, second semester, this is and 3 credits, like that. Okay, we'll find this account, provisions account. So it's easy to find because we know it's starting with 1. Then when we directly go to the assets tab, you will have all the accounts only starting with 1. That's why I told you this is the easy place to edit, right? When you go to the tab, it shows only those accounts, not the entire list. So provisions account here, I can see 1150. Okay. All right. Then go into that account, right? Right click and delete that account. Okay, it's gone. All right. It's very simple. Select the account, go into the account, right click. You all can delete those accounts. You can take the break now. After the break, you can delete all the accounts. Mark your attendance and go. Mark your attendance and go. Right, you can take a 15-minute break, but after 15 minutes, please start. Now the time is 4:35. 435 by 450. Okay. Okay. Right, you all can take the break. Can this mark your attendance and All right. Okay. Shall we start now? Now we are supposed to. Okay, we start now. Now we are supposed to delete the given list of accounts. Nothing difficult at all, right? Nothing difficult. We are supposed to delete the given accounts, and you'll see when we are going to delete certain accounts, there are practical problems coming in. We will sort it out. So let's delete them. Okay. Now we have deleted the provisions account. That is one hyphen 1150. Now we will look at 1500 prepaid interest. Prepaid interest. Prepaid interest 1500. Okay. Open that account. Right click, delete that account. And I'm just highlighting the accounts that I have already deleted to make sure I don't do any mistake. Right. Then 2100 land. 2100 here. I have an account called land, so I'm going to delete that account. Right. And then 2 hyphen, that means 2 dash. Those are liability accounts. Under liability accounts, you are going to delete the credit card. Credit card 1100. Here, it's a header account, right? Then 1110 bank card. That you are going to delete. And then then the dinner's card. Delete it. Visa card, you delete it. 1,350 fuel tax credit tax accrued that you are deleting. WVT payable. Carefully delete the accounts, okay? Don't delete necessary accounts. Delete all the unnecessary accounts that are mentioned in the list. Right? Did you delete all the accounts? Did you delete all the required accounts? All deleted? Not that. Still doing? Forward. Okay. Now, was that difficult? Right? If you hands up anyone who found this deleting account is difficult. Difficult. Okay. This is one of the easiest stuff, right? I think just right click and delete. But Now this account, if you properly modified your tax code and everything, listen, everyone, I hope everyone is okay with it. Now, deleting accounts is very simple. It's difficult, right? Click delete. And if you didn't have any issues or any problems with the tax codes deleting or modification, you should be able to delete all the accounts without any problem, right? But there can be situations where you are not allowed to delete some accounts, right? Now let me show you the reason. Now, in this accounts list, right? In this accounts list, if you carefully look at the columns you have in the database, first you have the account name. Within the account name, you have the account number also. Right? Then in the second column, you have the type of this account, right? Whether it's an asset account, current asset, whatever it is, type of the account. And then you have the tax code or linked tax code or relevant tax code. And then you have another column called links, right? Whether this account is linked to any other function or not. Right? If this account is linked to any other function or any other tax code, you will not be allowed to delete this account at all, right? So in that case, what are we going to do? We are going to first remove that link and then delete that. Okay. If there is a link, you will not be allowed to delete that account. Then the link is confused. Therefore, you have to first go and remove that link, or you have to plug that link to another account temporarily. Then you can delete that account. Okay. Just remember that tactic in your mind. Okay. Remember that method in your mind. Now, for example, if I take this deposit paid, right? Deposit paid, you can see in front of that account, there is a tick. There is a tick under the linked column. The meaning is this account is linked to some other account or some other function, right? Therefore, if I try to delete this, right? If I try to right click and delete this, I will get a notification. You are not an account that is being used as a link account may not be deleted. All right. Therefore, how to see the link? Then next question is how to see the link and to which account this link is there, right? You have to go to the second tab of an account creation, that is details, right? Details. Under the details tab, you can see at the bottom, you can see linked account for. Here, linked account for, and the white zoom arrow shows tracking deposit. For tracking deposits, you have linked this particular account. Therefore, if you delete this account, there's no account to track deposits. That is why you are not allowed to delete this account, right? And if you want, I'm not going to do that. But if you want to still delete that account, you can first go and remove that link, right? And then you can delete this account. Okay. Whenever a similar situation comes, I'll show you how to do this. Okay. Hope you understood that. Now, we are fine with the given assets or accounts list, right? I'm asking a very small question. Look at the assets tab, right? I want you all to go to the assets tab. And by looking at the order in which the assets are presented to us. And if you compare this with what you have learned in your financial accounting lectures, financial accounting course units, advanced level accounting, O-level commerce, according to the assets classification you have done, do you see any mismatch? Do you see any problem, or is it okay? I'm talking about the order in which the accounts are presented. Hands up those who say it's okay, no problem. Then hands up those who say there's a difference. There's a difference. Very few. Then hands up those who say I don't care whether that's different or not. Yes, that is the third category, right? If you don't raise hand for either, The third category, I don't care. Right. Understood? Samaru bank click right? There is a difference. What is the difference? What is the difference? Yeah. In our learning, according to our standards, in our framework, we first show the non-current assets. Non-current assets or fixed assets. Right? And then the current assets. And even within those assets, within those non-current assets or current assets, we are presenting them in the liquidity order, right? Least liquid asset first and most liquid assets at the end. And that's why always you have the cash in hand at the bottom corner and inventory on the top corner. Most of it is inventory. Inventory is still not even sold, right? You have to convert inventory into receivables and then into cash. So it has a long process. Therefore, even under current assets, you include the inventory first. It's not because you like it, not because you like the inventory, because there's a meaning, there's a reason, right? Because inventory takes a long process to convert into cash, right? But there are, after you include receivables, because you have already sold, now you have receivables, immediately it can be converted into cash. Then finally you include the cash because cash already received, you have it, fully liquid, right? On the liquidity preference, right? But here you don't see that because you have your current assets, very liquid assets first, and then the fixed assets later. That is some practice used in the Australian context according to their practice, right? Now we want to change this. We want to change this because we are going to, the Cricket Club is a Sri Lankan company. So we are going to keep account in Sri Lanka. Now we can't work with this. We have to change it completely upside down, right? When we convert it upside down, only few things you have to remember. To change the location of an account, what should we do? What should we do? Change the code. Change code. That is the only way, right? And also remember some points. Try your best not to delete and create accounts, right? Because many of these accounts are having links. Now, for example, here you have a check account, okay, right? Maybe in your requirement, there is a bank account, but name is not check account. Maybe there's a different account. I will show you because it's there in the list. I want you to open this account list, Trigger. Can you open this account list? Right. So this is actually the final account list you have to have. Right. This is the final account list you should have. Yeah. Now let me take that example. In the second, under balance sheet related accounts, under the current assets, right? Under cash on hand here, right? You can see there is an account called Sampath Bank current account. Okay. There is an account called Sampath Bank current account. So this is the current account this company is having, and also this is, if it's a current account, you are using this account for check-based transactions. You are issuing checks for the payments, right? Now, in your company, you have an account called check account. Right? Then someone can think, why shouldn't we delete the check account and create the new account called Sampath Bank current accounts? That is also possible. But the problem is, this is the main check account in this company, and this account is having links to everywhere. When you are receiving money, it's linked here. When you are paying something for payments, it is linked. So many things it is linked. That's why here you can see in the check account, even if you go inside that under details, you can see it is linked to many cases. For customer receipts, for paying bills, for payroll checks, for many things, it is linked, right? If you delete this account, if you want to delete this account, you have to remove all those links, right? Without removing all those links, you can't delete this. After deleting, now you are creating a new Sampath Bank current account. then you have to again recreate those things one by one, right? It's a waste of time, right? Because the same check account is renamed as Sampath current account. The same purpose we are going to serve, right? Therefore, what we have to try our best is converting existing accounts into our required accounts rather than just deleting or, right? And also, when you will come across with this situation, when you want to bring one account into a different location, right? By changing the account code, there will be another account in that code. In MyOB, you can't have two accounts in the same code. When you're going to bring an account down, you will have another account existing in the similar code, right? Then what most of us will do is we will first delete that original account. And again, how then that number is free, so you can bring it. But sometimes that account is needed later. That should go out, right? It may be a swap sometimes. So what you have to do is just change the number a little bit. Tax code, maybe the last digit. Maybe the last digit you can change slightly. Then you will be allowed to bring that to the original position, right? And then rechange that. This is like a chess game, right? You are looking at where it should go at the same time from where you are going to bring it, right? So you have to think 2 steps in advance, right? 2 steps further you have to think and then make the adjustment. If you accurately do this, as I remember, you will have to delete only very few, 1 or 2 accounts only maximum. There is nothing to delete like such. Right? It's just a matter of changing the location. All right. So that is the activity you are going to start. Okay. So in this case, you are given, these accounts are given in a logical order. Firstly, you are given the accounts related to the income statement, right? Income and expense related accounts. These accounts are creating or generating the income statement. Now you have to take one by one this, because here it's given very clearly different clusters, right? Different clusters you can change one by one, right? Now let me ask a very practical question, not about my opinion. It's not about my opinion. It's about general thinking and working. When you have 10 tasks to do, most of you are working according to my memory. Just check that. 90% of you are working, right? When you are working, you have so many work at tasks at work, and you are doing a degree. You have so many assignments. You have quizzes, exams. You have so many stuff at the same time. Multitasking at the same time. When you have, let's say, 10 tasks, right? Which task do you usually do first? Let's say all are equally urgent. Usually urgent tasks we are doing. Let's say all 10 tasks are equally urgent. Which task you are doing first? Hardest problems. Any different answers? Easy work first. Easiest work. Right. Right. It can depend. Huh? It can depend. It can depend on the person. Those who think difficult tasks should be done first, then I am relaxed. So I can go to the next. Right. But I suggest a method. If it is not suitable to you, don't apply it to anything else. But just apply it for my UV. When you have 10 tasks, your brain is saying you have 10 tasks, 10 things. So many things to do. So I suggest you, at least in my UV, pick the easy one and finish it, right? Then when you finish very easy, simple one, then you have 9 tasks only. Now brain says, okay, it's not 10, it's just 9. Then you finish another easy one. Then you have tasks, but only 8. 2 are done. Completing something gives a very positive support to the mind, right? Then you likewise, when you come to the last few work, Right? Let's say you have come to the last work, which is difficult. Right? You are having the most difficult work, but you have only one thing to do. Right? You have only one thing to do. Difficult, that's true, but only one thing to do. For some work, it may not be suitable. This method may not be suitable, right? Maybe when you get tired, you can't do the difficult work. There are situations. But in my OB, that is very convenient because you leave the complexity in the final case and then you will sort it out. Because you are having the practice also. When you are completing easy tasks, you get the practice. Then with that practice, you are having one work at the end, then you will be able to do it comfortably. All right. Okay, shall we start with the easiest work? Easiest step? Because otherwise this looks complicated. No? You think this is complicated? So we'll take task by task. I'll show you it's not complicated. Right? Now, when you look at this, okay, what is the smallest subcategory you see? Here you are having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 categories, right? 8 tabs. What is the smallest category you have? Other income and other expenses, right? Other expenses. You go to the other expenses, right? Parent account number is, or the header account number is 9-0000. That's okay. And income tax expense, and the code is 2000, right? 9-2000. There's nothing to do. Okay, there's nothing to do. One task gone without any effort. Now forget that task. Okay, one gone, but highlight it to make sure that it's done. In your Word document, highlight it. That's why I have given it in Word format. So you can at least mark something, you can modify some, don't delete, right? You don't delete the text, but you can do some modifications. Then we'll go to the other income, right? Other income, the main parent code is 8, right? 8000, sorry, 80000. Name is other income. Under that, you have 8-1000 interest income. Interest income is there. Already it's there. Now you have to create another account called discount received, right? Discount received. Now you know how to create a new account. Being in the same cluster or being in the same tab, you click on the new button, right? Click on this new button. Okay. So you are going to create other income. Category is selected automatically. Even the parent category number is given, right? Now you have to pick a number. A number is 2000. Enter to account number is 2000, right? Press tab. Then you can see account name and other fields are activated. Account name is discount received. Here, since it's a Word document, you can copy paste, right? Since it's a Word document, you will be able to copy paste. But in the final exam, you can't copy paste because your paper will be a printed paper. You can't copy paste. You have to type it. Right. And right, another information we have to include for tax for accounts. A tax code may be connected. Right, certain accounts are connected to the tax codes. For example, if you are charging for the discount received, there will be a tax impact, that impact, right? Then for that you have to go to the details tab. Okay, details tab, and there is a place to adjust the tax code. Okay, there is a place to adjust the tax code. It's selected as not taxable NT, but you have to select VAT. When you type V, it will automatically fill. Right? When you try to enter VAT, it will autofill with the tax code. Okay. All right. Then press the tab key. Then that is filled. And make sure here from this categorization, you have selected this as a detailed account. Right? Because it's a detailed account, not a header account. Okay. It's a detailed account. And click OK. Okay. So that account is created. Account code is 2000. Name is discount received. And other income tax code is value added tax VAT. Okay. All right. So we created a new account. Two categories complete. Right? Two categories complete. Not complicated at all. So two are very simple. Now you have only few, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now you have only 6. Okay. Then we will look at another easy one. We'll take income. Shall we take income? Another small one. Income, right? Under income, are we all good with this other income and other expenses? It's very simple, right? Just a matter of creating one account. It's one of the simplest categories. Right? Now we will go to income. The income is starting with the highest parent category of 4-0000. And then there is another category called 4-1000 called cricket income. So you don't have to delete anything or create new. There is a parent category or there's a header account called sales, right? There is a header account called sales under the same account code, right? Then you have to just edit that header account. Go into the white zoom arrow, right? And account code is the same, just a matter of changing the name, right? Change the name as cricket income. Cricket income. Right? It's a header account and it's cricket income. Only the name was changed. Huh? Only the name was changed. Then you can click OK. Now for 1000 category is created. Then you have the set of detailed accounts. 1100 is equipment sales income. 1100 account is there, right? Just you have to change the name. Right? Go into that account, sales account. Of course, it's a detailed account, and pick the name. Don't copy the name with the tax code. That in every account there is the tax code included. Don't copy the tax code to the name of the account. Just copy the name of the account, equipment sales, and then make sure under details, under the details tab of that account, right? In the tax code, you mention VAT, value added. If that code is value added, tax included, you have to select the VAT, tax code as VAT. Okay. Right. So you have equipment sales income. 1100 is the code. So now this point you have done. Then 1200 is the cricket lessons income. So you have an account called 1200. Only the name is different. Name is service income. So why don't you change the name? Go into that. Pick the name. Cricket lessons income. Tax code is VAT. Select the tax code as VAT. Right. Click OK. Now you should be familiar with accounts editing process, right? How to edit an account and how to create a new account. That process you are familiar with. So you can notice your speed is improving. How to change an account, how to modify an account. The time is in little time you can do it. Then 1,300. Okay. Now, under the income, right? Under the income, there are two more accounts coded as 4-5,000 and 6,000. Those are major two accounts. And also those two accounts are linked to some functions. You can see they are linked accounts, right? If you change any of these accounts as like now, for example, you are changing the freight collected account, right? As I told you, better to try to modify existing account. If you try to change the freight collected account as ground fee income account, right? You are doing a serious mistake. The problem is where freight collected is totally different, and whatever the links that will have will never be suitable for ground fee income, right? Freight collected is a totally different story. The story should be similar. What they do should be similar, right? For you to do that. So in this case, you will have to delete these two accounts, right? And create the rest of the accounts. Okay. When you are deleting these two accounts, first we will create and later delete if it's needed. Okay. Now we know these two accounts are not so suitable to be modified. Therefore, we will create the rest of the accounts. 1,300 account we are going to create ground fee income. Okay. So we are creating a new account. 1,300 is the code, and account name is ground fee income. $1,300 is the account code, and ground fee income is the name. And under details, you have to select value added tax as the tax code. VAT as the tax code. Right? That is the tax code. Then you create that account. Okay, so you create that account. And then 1,400 repair fees income. Again, new account. 1,400 repair fees income. Again, that is the tax code. Right? Then another account called 1,500 equipment hire income. Right. Equipment hire income. Right. So all the accounts that category is complete now. That category is complete, and there are two additional accounts that we don't require. Okay. And unfortunately, we can't delete them. They are having links, right? They are having links to some other functions. Therefore, we will have to remove those links. Right? It's a new learning. It's going to be a new learning. We are going to see how we are going to delete an account that has links. Right? So we will pick the freight collected account. Okay. Go into that account using the white zoom arrow. Okay. Go into that account with the white zoom arrow and go to the details tab. Then you will see where the link is. Right? The link is for freight charges. Then there you have a small white zoom arrow, another white zoom arrow. Click on that. Click on that white zoom arrow. Okay. Then you will see in some functions, sales linked accounts, sales related functions, where this account is linked. Right? Here you can see when I select, I charge freight on sales. This is the account they have selected, linked accounts. Right? So what I can do is I remove the entire link. How can I do that? I can deselect this tick, uncheck. I don't charge. If I don't charge freight, so there's no account. needed. Right? Don't get scared. Later, if we want, we can pick that and connect. Okay. Later, we can set up these links if we want. But for the moment, we don't, we are like brushing up our account list. Therefore, we are removing that link and click OK. Now you can see this is unlinked. The link is removed. Right? When the link is removed, you will be able to delete this. Gone. Right? It's gone now. The same thing you can do for late fees collected. Right? Go into the account, go to the details and late charges. Right? Late charges. Go to the late charges. I assess charges for late payment. Late charges account is needed because I am charging late fees. Right? If I don't charge late fees, there's nothing called late fees charges account. I deselect or untick. Click OK. So you can see that account is unlinked. Then I can delete that account. Right. So my income category is clean. Okay. My income account list is clear. There are interesting examples I usually use, but now it is recording and online participants here. So all that I can openly say that certain examples. Yes. Yes. All right. Right? So we can quickly start with the cost of sales. Right? We'll quickly start the cost of sales. Right? So we will start the cost of sales. Okay, we will start the cost of sales category now. So under cost of sales category, parent level header account is cost of sales. But here the parent level name is cost of sales and services. Okay, just a name change is required. So we'll go and change the name, cost of sales and services. That is the only change for the header. And then the second header account category is 5-1000 cost of goods, right? So there is no such account, right? There's no such account to modify. Therefore, we'll create a new account, new, and its header account, cost of sales, right? And 1000 is the account number. This number is already existing, right? 1000 you can't take. Then what you are going to do? Okay, you stay aside. I'll go and change this number. I know why it is not allowed, because there is a similar code. So I will go into this and make a little adjustment. I'll put just 1 in the last digit. I'm just changing the last digit to make sure it is not identical to the previous one, right? Temporarily last number, last digit. Understood? Confused? Yeah. Now, for example, I wanted to create a header account. The account code should be 5-1000. Right? When I try to do this, I am not allowed to do it because there is another account named or numbered as 5-1000. So I go and find what is that account. That is purchases account. Make a number. Then what I am going to do, I am going to change this number. Right? Not a major change I want, just 1 digit. I am changing to make that slot free. Okay. So I'm changing this number by adding 1 at the end. And now I can create a new header account comfortably with the account code of 1000. Why? There is no similar account now. I converted that 1000 into 1001. It need not be 1001. Whatever the account you can modify, right? It should not be the same. That's it. And then the name of that account is cost of goods. Okay. Right. Then under this there is detail. Now we have to start with the detailed accounts. Okay. And first detailed account is 1100. The name is cost of goods sold, right? Cost of goods sold. There is no such account. And also there is no any account called purchases as well, right? There is no any account called purchases as well. And also this purchases account is not linked to any function as well. So this is a free account. We can do anything to this account. Okay. So I'm taking this account and modifying it as the cost of goods sold 1100 account. So I change it as 1100 and I named it as cost of goods sold, not taxable anyway, NT, cost of goods sold. All right. If you want to, because here you can see in this account, the cost of goods sold detailed account is located in the third level, right? It's located in the third level. But here in the software, it is located in the second level. So you can click on this down button to bring it to the third level. You can use this down button to bring it to the third level. It was there here, right? It was in the third level, so you can bring it to the fourth level. That is just to show the appearance that this is coming under the cost of goods. Then stock losses, 1200 is stock losses. There is no any similar account for that. Stock losses. So I will have to. I'm just checking whether there is a similar account for inventory adjustment, right? There is no such account or any link for inventory adjustment. Then I can just change the inventory adjustment account as the stock losses account. Okay, because it does not have a link, it's just an isolated account. So I'm changing this inventory adjustment account as 1200 and stock. Stock losses. So it is not taxable. Stock losses. Then 5-1300 freight inwards. Okay. There is no freight inwards account and discounts given account is there. But if you convert the discounts into freight, they are two different stories, right? Discount and freight are completely two different expenses. Okay. Therefore, we can't change this account. So we will create a new account. We will create a new account for freight inwards. 1300 freight inwards. That is VAT inclusive, right? That is charged with VAT. So take the code as VAT. So freight inwards account is created. Right? Then you have to create another account called cost of services. Right? Cost of services, that is the header account. Then you have to create a new header account for cost of services. A new account. 2000 cost of services, a header account. Right? Cost of services, a header account. I have created. And under that, there is an account called cost of material repairs. 2100 is the code. Create a new account. 2100 is the code. And the name is cost of materials repair. Okay. Select. So that category is also completed. And there is one account which we don't need. Okay, there's one account that we don't need, and also it is linked. It's the discounts given account. Okay, I'm going to delete that discount given account. I can't just delete it because it's a linked account. I'm going into that, and under details, I'm going to find where the link is. And when you click on this white zoom arrow, you can see I have this discount given account because I am giving this. So I decide not to give discount for temporary purpose, just to modify the account. So I decide I don't give discount. Then no account is needed. Okay. All right. Then, okay, now you can see it's an unlinked account. So the discount, I converted the discount given account as an unlinked account. So I can delete that account without any problem. Okay, now my cost of sales category, cost of sales tab is complete. All right. Okay. Right. All right. So that's why I told you. Initially you had 8 tabs to modify. Right. We picked easiest ones. Now we have completed 4. But the difficult 4 is remaining. Right. Not the difficult ones we have done the easy ones. But now we have only 4. We have only 4 plus we have experience. We have experience of how to remove a link and delete an account. Right? How to modify accounts, how to create new accounts, how to create header accounts, detailed accounts, and even your speed has improved. Right? Then you can think of the complications because this has become your basic now. Right? If we touch the difficult one at the first stage, without experience, you will be struggling with everything. Right? So now you have experience. Then for today, that is enough. I want you to practice. Okay, I want you to practice. Go home, create a new company, do this editing, right? Because this is not your office work, right? Once you complete, you don't touch it. In office work, when you complete, you don't even feel like touching it after going home, right? This is your education, right? Therefore, you have to re-practice. Practice again. Because next week we are going to continue this. We are going to continue the rest of the 4 tabs and we will complete our account list and we will be recording the first journal entry. Right? Thank you. Okay. So for today, that's it. Now this is the company file you are going to continue. Next week, I am not going to give a company file. Okay. Okay. From next week onwards, you have to carry on with your own company file. This company file. And also next week, next week's learning, you have to submit the company file for the continuous assignment. Right? As I told you, in your continuous assignment, you have to submit the company file 4 times. Right? 4 times. Out of those 4, the first time comes in the next week. Therefore, from next week, complete that account list, and then you have to submit that one. Okay. All right, then. Thank you very much. You can close this company file. You can close the company file. As a practice, I usually write in front of the company file what is the stage of complete, right? Right? Half completed account list. So I am just giving a reference so I understand what is this company file. Otherwise, you will have number of company files and you never know, you don't know to which level it is completed. And the next week you can rename as full account list completed. Right. Then thank you very much, everyone. Welcome.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Hello. Sir, can we only complete the company file up to cost of sales editing, or others are as a homework?
Sorry, you have to take the company file that you have today use today, right?
Up to
You have
today's
to
session, right, sir?
today's session. Yeah, like
Yeah.
halfway completed up to the cost of sales. The next week you have to bring that company file, and next week we'll be learning. We'll be editing the other 4 tabs. Then
It's not
after the
a
next week,
okay, okay. So I thought it's a homework. And also, sir, last week we completed the up to this security preferences. Same file we
yeah.
can use for the today's working, right, sir?
No, you have to you have download the file I have given in the LMS, and that what we have learned today you have to modify in that company file that I have
In that
uploaded.
company file. Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Noted,
There are
noted, sir. Thank you so
hereafter
much.
that becomes your company file. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah. Right.
Okay, sir. Okay.